Why does the PDGA seem to want to suck all the fun out of disc golf? I think that's the platform that Doug probably ran on. Is sorry.
All right,
Doug.
guys.
Sorry,
How do
Doug.
I
Sorry,
suck
Doug.
all the fun out of this?
Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of the Disc Golf Answer Man. I am Bobby Cool, Daddy Slick Breeze, and I have with me Eric GB Omega McCabe. Isn't that the Omega sign? The thing that's over there? Oh,
I think it's technically the trophy, the glass ball.
well,
So
that's
it's-
true. That makes
That's
sense.
how it's
Okay.
incorporated
Okay.
in
So
the
anyway.
design. But yeah, sure. Yeah.
I thought it was the Omega.
GB
Omega.
glass blown Omega.
So, little GBO throwback shirt.
A throwback from all the way back in this year.
I know.
It came from this year. This was this year's
Oh,
shirt.
was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's
Okay,
funny.
so, I don't even have my headphones on.
Oh,
I
no.
was wondering why this sounded different. Anyway,
I-
so,
Bobby will not know what I'm saying.
there. Now, okay, now I can
Oh,
hear
dang,
myself.
yeah.
Okay, so, GBO. Speaking of GBO, I was just looking at the budget, putting things together, and I'm super excited about getting plans together with Jackie and the GBO, the Glass Blown Open. So seeing what we can do with that. Hopefully, if you're watching this, you're going to make plans to come out the GBO. It's going to be new dates.
I was just getting ready to say it is going to be a new date, but we'll find out that date in like a week,
Yeah.
right? November 1st.
Yeah. And so I need to get with Jackie so that we can like promote it and push it out there so people
Yes.
can put it on their calendar. So
Yes.
be on the lookout for that. We're going to have dates for the new Glass or the
It'll be-
2026.
Yeah,
Glass
it'll
Blown
be
Open.
like a month or two later than it typically is, just so
Yeah.
you guys know.
And that's just because of the Pro Tour schedule.
I
And
think KC White Open is going to be the same weekend as historically we have been,
yeah.
which kind of pushes things around for us because there's other events in the area, so we kind of had to push our date and find a different date that would work. And for me, it's exciting because we're getting back to the roots of the original GBO when I wanted it,
Yeah.
which was in the summer when all we had to do was worry about heat and not wind and rain and grossness.
I think I'd rather have heat. Like the both. I don't
Totally.
want to be both, but I'd rather be too hot than soaking wet
I agree.
or
completely.
windy.
I agree completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts? Speaking of budget, because that was another thing I was thinking about. What do you think about the disc? What is it? The Disc Golf Expo South and East.
Yes.
Had you been into the? Have you?
I
been
went to South this year.
And do you
Steve-O
think it's
and I
worth
went.
going?
Abso-frickin-lutely.
Okay.
%.
I want to go.
The one in South was, it was new this year. It was the first time they did it, but the one on the East they've done it a couple of times, and it's grown into this just huge thing. So I think the East is bigger than the South, but the South is growing. Does that make sense? And Steve-O's down at the South. He actually, I don't know if you saw the email. He sent us a couple emails about wanting to talk about
Going to
that.
it?
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
next
good.
year.
All
So
right, yes, I want to go to it because
I would love to go back. for
So
sure.
the thing is, and I know it's like we're having a meeting right here in front of everybody.
Let's do it. Let's have this meeting.
Well, I mean, I want to like have like something to. Did you guys release something? Or
So Steve-O just kind of, it was kind of last minute, and I'd brought it up, said, hey, we need to be at this thing, let's go. So Steve-O kind of had, we did the splatter justices down there. Do you remember the splatter
Mhm.
effect? We did those. That was the first time those are available, and that was the first time I actually released the new retooled EMAC True. So that was the first
okay.
place that you could get those. So yeah, we did something new, but this year we need to go bigger and better
yes,
for that event.
we need to do
So,
something new.
Yep.
And then like vlog at it and do some fun stuff while we're there. So okay, cool. Okay, so anyway, we're not in a meeting. We're actually on the Disc Golf Answer Man show.
Yeah.
And we're going to ask your questions and get answers for you. Make sure you guys send those questions into the discgolfanswerman.com. And then we're also going to talk about what can you do for the disc golf off season. I posted the question on Facebook, the Disc Golf Answer Man Facebook, and I'm getting some answers on there. So we'll kind of discuss
How
those.
many answers on there are there is no off season?
There was already a couple of them.
Yep,
I knew
I
that was coming.
figured.
In fact, even in the question, I said, what are your plans for the disc golf off season? And you know what I mean.
Right. Yeah.
Because I knew some people were going to
Sure.
be like, there is no off season.
There is no off season. I live in
So,
California.
I get it. All right, so let's go to our first question, and then we'll talk about this pile of discs we have here.
Pile.
First question comes from Mike M. Oh,
Double M.
how apropos for this question.
Oh.
Is drift plastic the same as zero gravity?
No. While it feels similar, It's kind of funny because we were actually discussing this in another meeting. We're just talking about meetings today. I don't know,
right?
man. But we were talking about how I brought up the thought of, hey, we need a zero gravity style disc in our lineup since we're kind of the recruitment guys and we're trying to get new people involved and everybody wants some floating discs and all that. So we asked Latitude, a couple people at Latitude, hey, we would like to have something similar to the zero gravity, but no, it's not exactly the same. It's a different formula. It's not identical. It is very similar, though, I will say. Like, you can probably tell the difference in the two if you're holding them side by side, but for the most part, you're not going to be able to tell too much of a difference. But it is definitely different type of additive, but I will say it is very, very similar.
So a couple questions that I've seen, because I made a video on YouTube where I did a float test to show you they really do float.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did a comparison segment where I took the fusion plastic version of each mold and I threw them and you got to see the difference in the flights. And then, of course, we went over the molds and what they do. What was I saying about? Oh, some people... I totally lost my train of thought. So I posted a few shorts on there, and a couple people had questions, and so I wanted to answer those here as well.
Nice.
Derek, is this the same for our old school groupies and fans? Is this the same drift from when we or thought about releasing Witness Drift?
Definitely
Drift
not.
Witness.
Not even the same realm of similarities.
Yeah.
Because those were terrible.
Yeah, those were terrible.
They were sticky. They were weird. Yeah. Same concept, I guess, as it being a lighter weight baseline floating plastic, but not the same in flight, feel, more importantly, feel. So, yes.
Okay, what is your answer if someone asks? I've had a floating disc before, and they were terrible.
They are kind of terrible most of the time. But these, in my opinion, the drift plastic isn't necessarily for a player like myself.
Yeah.
Or a tournament player at all, for that matter. I mean, aside from maybe the Sergeant and the EMAC Judge, the EMAC Judge tends to fly, honestly, like an EMAC Judge does.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you won't be breaking these discs out when you've got a lot of wind, but this particular lineup of discs and plastic and that kind of is more geared for beginners and players with slower arm speeds, like yourself.
Yeah.
You would get great use out of this Sergeant, as you did in the video I saw, without having to put a lot of power behind that disc, without having to worry about losing the disc. Because here in Emporia, we have a whole bunch of water, right? So you don't want to lose those discs. So these aren't made for like tournament players unless you're just a player that plays a lot of tournaments around water and you're sick and tired of losing discs.
Yeah.
Then you could absolutely put one of these bad boys in your bag.
There you go. Perfect. And if you want, like I said, more info, check out the YouTube video to learn more about drift plastic. And I put them all out here. These are just we have them in 4 molds, but I wanted you to see all the cool colors we have in the pink, the yellow, the orange, and the, I don't know what do you call this color?
Teal?
Yeah, teal would be close, yeah.
There's some yellow, there's some white, some orange,
so
pink.
All right, let's get back to the questions. This one from Joshua, loaded question.
Loaded.
Since the sake bomb felons are no more, and those were said to be retooled for that run, does that mean all the felons are now using that same tooling, allowing them to make let me fix my spreadsheet here. There we go. Okay. Setup and tools just for that run of felons. And if it's completely different from setup, if and when could all the felons switch over so that we can see the same flight we love from the sake bomb felons into all the felons runs?
Jeez. It's a lot to break down right there. So when the sake bomb felon came out, it was basically a Supreme felon.
Okay.
It was in Supreme plastic, so when we released the Supreme line, you had to come out with new molds because of the way the discs were produced. So the sake bomb felon was 100% a new mold that we wanted to be similar in flight to the felons, but be in the Supreme plastic, in the Supreme production where it's the no tooling or the no flashing on it and, the whole effects on how those things were produced. That said, Sake Bomb is not with us anymore.
Right.
It's no different than the Generals that we have coming out in the near future, I believe, that do no longer have the Saki Bomb tooling on the bottom. So we did retool those a little bit, change the name just to regular old General, and those will be coming out soon. And the Felons, probably not all Felons are going to be from that new Saki Bomb mold, we'll say. So we still have the Felon we've had for years with the different plastic types, the Fusions, the Lucids, the Lucid X, all the different types of plastics. But that new Felon, you'll probably see us retool and rename into something else in the future. So you probably won't see a new Felon hit the market. It could be called something else, but when that does happen, you will know about it, because we will say, hey, this is the retooled Saki Bomb Felon. We're now calling it the Bobby Brown, whatever we want to call it. Just saying.
We're going to call it the Bobby Brown.
The Bobby Brown, and then Bobby Brown is going to sue us.
It'll be his prerogative.
It will be.
Anyway, all right, next question. Kyle wants to know, what is the most difficult shot for you, and how have you worked on it?
For me, everybody knows it's the forehand. It's always been a shot that I've just never been very good at. I have a useful one, meaning if I need to get out of jail or if I'm scrambling, I have one that is usable. I could utilize it when I need it. But for me, and I don't know if it's because I've been playing for so long, that when I first started playing and learning the game, I developed my game to be a backhand player, because the discs that we had back then just were not as torque resistant, because we were utilizing mostly like this kind of stuff with DX plastic. You had some overstable stuff, but it would beat in super fast. So I had always taught myself how to throw backhand turnovers. And it's just a shot that I never really learned. And to answer the question is, how have I worked on it? I really, honestly, haven't. Because I'm in a different part of my career and my game where I don't need to go out every day like I used to and work on certain aspects of my game. You know, it's more like, hey, if I need to use it during one of these practice rounds or if I'm playing with the kids, then I'll bust it out if I need to. But it's not something that I actually work on.
Yeah.
What about you?
I wouldn't say like a particular shot right now. And
just all of every shot?
Well, as soon as I throw, that's the part. No,
that's the problem.
I mean, so I had this thought the other day because I was out throwing for a video, and I thought, okay, now it's so weird to think this way, but like I didn't play disc golf a lot when I was not working for Dynamic Disc, and then when I started working for Shields, I definitely hardly ever played because I was opening a new store and it was super busy anyway. So now that I'm back into disc golf, Dynamic Disc, and throwing the Dynamic Disc discs again, it's like I'm having to relearn what I remember about certain molds. And so the most difficult thing I'm working on right now is remembering, oh yeah, that's what an escape does for me. Oh yeah, in fact, that's not, that's what it does for me now. But as I improve, is it going to change a little bit? Am I going to have to disc up or change to a different mold? And so figuring out my game has been the most challenging thing. And how I'm working on that, just getting out and throwing. When it was nice weather here in Emporia and I'm staying here, I would go for a walk, and I would go out to Jones Park because it's real close to me, and I would have 3 discs with me, and I would just throw them as I'm walking. So
was that to learn the discs, or was that just to kind of reteach yourself the game? Because, like you said, remembering how the escape flew for you, but we also have like 3 or 4 other fairway drivers in our lineup that we didn't have when you were.
Right now, right now it's learning the disc that I'm familiar with. So now some of it was, when the heist came out, I had a heist with me to throw it, and then of course the motive and the trees, and so some of that was learning new molds, but some of it was also throwing stuff that I already knew. Because it's one thing to go out to an open field and throw it and see what happens, but it's another thing to go, okay, I'm going to aim for that basket, or I'm going to aim for that fairway. How do I make that disc get to where my mind says it should go? So that's kind of what I'm working on. So, all right, so we got some other discs up here we're talking about. The first one we'll talk about is this Reaper of the Pars Enforcer. And these have some sweet, look at that red. I'm so sorry for you audio listeners that can't see this, but these are sweet. This red looks good. And it's a Reaper, what's this?
Fusion Orbit Enforcers.
Right, but is there an official name for this guy? Or just
Reaper? Just Reaper of Pars. That's just the name of the stamp. I don't think he necessarily has a name except for Reaper, maybe.
So it's got a sick looking stamp on it.
Yeah, it does look good.
And some really nice.
Especially the red. I mean, yeah, like Bobby said, those red ones look phenomenal with the gold, white, and black. Gosh, it just looks so good.
And these are already out, or they come out?
Let
me look at the new release. Remember, you can go to the release calendar on our website.
Yep. These are D2C only.
Oh, and they're already out, I think.
I believe you're right. I think they came out last Thursday.
So these are out, and then we have upcoming on
That's
November
this
13th,
Thursday.
right?
No, it's 2 weeks from now. Yep.
2 weeks from now, we have the Lucid Moonshine Escape, the little trickster raccoon on there.
These are our color moonshine. So we have 4 different colors. We have yellow, orange, white, and blue, and they are all moonshine. So great disc. The Vandal is, you guys know this. Didn't I? You did say Escape, I think.
Vandal, my bad.
I've been saying that the Vandal has been one of the most underrated discs in the Dynamic Discs lineup since the disc came out.
Agreed.
I've always said,
agreed,
anybody could utilize this disc. Bobby can get great use out of it. I can get great use out of it as a roller, tight woods shots, those kind of things. So if you haven't tried a Vandal yet, this day is your opportunity to get one of these and give them a try.
And then finally coming out this Thursday is the Eric McCabe EMAC Truth Orbit Mamma Jamma Owl. What's this, the nickname we gave it?
Knowledge Keeper.
Knowledge Keeper.
Yeah. Yeah, show that one's probably better for the camera at least. It's got a sick little owl stamp with a little dude fishing, nature scene. These are also Lucid X. So they're not just Lucid Orbit, they're Lucid X Orbit. So what does that mean? It means they're going to have quite a bit more stability, even more so than the retooled versions of the EMAC Truth. So the Glimmer ones that I'd released at Disc South that we were discussing earlier, or the Fusion Swirl ones, the missing piece, we released those not too long ago. Those have some nice stable finishes to them. These are going to have a touch more finish to them. And as Bobby also mentioned, I will have a full video out review of these bad boys here relatively soon.
Nice. All right, let's get back to the questions. I'm going to actually jump to this one real quick. This one, he says, let me get it. Okay, great to have you guys back in business. Was a regular listener commenter earlier in your original run, and the nostalgia is great. Question today, for the 2022 Dynamic Discs Open, there was a run of Justice that were puddle-topped Moonshine Air. Despite the lightweight, they are among the most overstable Justice ever run, and believe me, I've thrown a lot of Justice. That must just like drop left as soon as you release it.
Just
hit
yourself in the back foot when you throw it.
Yeah. And the lightweight, you can actually throw them really far, and they still hook up even after a pretty sharp Anheuser forehand. Will we ever see a run in that plastic combo again? I stock up whenever I see them for sale, but will run out eventually, I'm sure.
These are them right here, I believe.
Say what?
See, they're on Disc Republic's website right now. So they have the cool little triangle or square stamp on them. Yeah, I do. Seeing them now, I do remember these discs, and they were super puddle top, which I think probably made them even more overstable, being the puddle top versions of them. And look, people either love puddle top or they hate puddle top. I think it all depends on what they're utilizing that disc for. I know a lot of forehand players would prefer it to be puddle top. I think that probably does add a little level of stability to the disc. So to answer your question, Moose, was it?
Moose, yeah.
Yeah, there is a great chance that you'll see at least more puddle top versions of discs moving forward. I know we had some puddle top puddle top suspects that came out not too long ago that had some great stability and flights to them as well. I can't guarantee that you're going to see the Lucid Air puddle top Moonshine Justices again.
Yeah.
And if we did run them again, I can't promise you that they will come out identical, the same, but yes, you will definitely see some more puddle top type Frisbees coming in the future.
Yeah, so like you said, there's Disc Republic. So, and you just did like a quick little Google search.
Yep, that's all I did. Just Googled that disc, and I found them on their website.
Yeah, so definitely, if you do a Google and you find a store that has them, check them out. Give them some bid. Let's talk about Lucid Air real quick.
Lucid Air.
Because the reason I say that now, it popped in my head, is because we're having a special sale right now, 20% off Lucid Air stock stamps.
Nice.
I see we have quite a bit of selection: Vandal, Getaway, Maverick, Felon, Truth, Warden, Evader, Team Warden. So the Warden putter. So yeah, in the Air plastic. So tell us why someone would want, if they have a mold they really like, why would they want Lucid Air?
The main reason is because of what Lucid Air is, lighter plastic.
Oh.
A lot of players are really, and when I say lighter plastic, I want to say that somewhere in the 60s realm is what most of our Air stuff is.
Yeah. 150. Yeah. Well, there's a weight of 150 to 154, 155 to 159, 160, 64.
Correct. So a little bit lighter weights, so you can get the disc up to speed of what the disc is supposed to fly like. Unlike these bad boys, the drift ones that are in more like 120s.
Yeah.
So these are even more extreme on the lighter side. But the main reason people want lighter weight discs is because they'll get more distance out of those discs with less effort.
Sound like my speech impediment.
with less effort, meaning if you don't have a lot of arm speed and you can't get enough rotations on that disc, if it's a max weight escape, you're definitely going to be able to do that with either the Drift or the Lucid Air.
Nice. So we have a good selection, have them on sale right now, and I know that we're making some more Air for next year.
We are.
I don't know how much you can say, but I know that they're coming.
I've already ordered those, and what I will say is those Lucid Air discs that are coming next year are new molds.
Whoa!
That have not been released yet. So
nice. Very good stuff. Let's see. Next question comes from... these are actually ones that we can actually get into a lot.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. I should have like a Let's Get Into It theme song.
Yeah, you should.
I should.
And you should sing it.
Let's get into it. All right. Can You Putt says, there is a lot of free agents this year in disc golf. With less and less money out there for sponsorship and a lot of companies not getting their return on investment, how do you think this offseason will shake out? I would imagine this is probably sparked by the recent announcement of James Proctor and Ben Callaway.
And I'm sure you're going to see more.
I'm sure you're going to see more as people try to figure things out. This is that time of season where companies start thinking about the next year, players start thinking about the next year. Now the thing is with their situation's a little unique in the sense that they gave themselves a time period.
Correct.
Right? James said, let's give it 2 years to see where this goes. Ben was more like, let's give it 5 years.
Yep.
Now, obviously, if they were making good money, they probably would have said, okay, well, let's give it another 2 years or another couple years.
Sure.
But, you know,
and I know James, like, those are two kind of different examples, too, because James had been struggling with injuries throughout his career on tour. And Ben is a father away from his wife and made the announcement that they're expecting.
Yeah.
So like that's a whole nother realm of I don't want to say issues, but you know,
factors to think about.
Yeah.
When you're
totally.
you're out on the road, you want to be, if you want to be the kind of parent to be around, you can't be traveling and touring.
Correct.
So,
well, I mean, yeah. I'm not judging those that do it.
No, absolutely.
But yeah.
Yeah, but you guys know what I'm saying.
Totally.
If that's not something you don't want, like Ben even said something he's had about dreams of having a house.
Yeah.
He even said the white picket fence. So that's kind of how he sees doing things.
That was
James?
That was Goose that said that on a different
Goose
podcast.
wanted white
He wants the
fence.
white picket fence.
Okay, I'm watching too many podcasts.
I guess so.
Anyway, so the question is, so what do you think? How do you think things are going to shake out?
Each year the off season gets more and more interesting to follow, and I never thought it would be any crazier than what year was that? 2012. You know, when we started making discs, when Prodigy started making discs, and so many free agents, and you know, you're not seeing. Here's the thing: I don't think it's going to get any easier in the future. In the near future, at least, because you're not seeing a lot of multi-year contracts.
Yeah.
Most of the time, what you're seeing now is just year to year. Hey, let's do a year and see how it works. let's check the budget and see where we're at with things, see how much we can feel comfortable. And it's just, man, it's really just a numbers game anymore, which I get, and it's tough, and it's tough for me, I guess, because when I was doing it and traveling, we weren't getting paid.
Yeah.
We were saving money and doing it, and then having a job in the off season, and there really wasn't YouTube to make videos to earn a little extra or to get your name out there or those kind of things. So it's definitely a different game now. There is more money in the sport now than there was when I was doing it, like pro purses and events, winning big events, winning majors, and those kind of things. You're definitely seeing a lot more money at the top now than you were back then. So, man, I don't know. I don't know what we're in for, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and the thing is it's not just disc golf. I mean, you read in the news anywhere, and a lot of industries are having to cut back. And, when we say there's less and less money, there's a lot of other industries where there's less and less money. I mean, without getting into politics, any of the politics of it, I mean, we're in a very kind of fragile state of the country right now as far as, and I'm sure people are thinking, okay, I'm going to pull back a little bit because I need to save money because there's a lot of uncertainty. A lot of times when there's uncertainty, people tend to spend less so that they're ready for that uncertainty. So it's hard to say what's going on.
It'll be fun.
It'll be fun.
It'll be fun to watch and talk about and all that. But yeah, I don't really know how it's going to shake out, to be honest. I mean, yeah, I've had some conversations with some of our players on things and talk to other players while I'm out on the road, while I'm at USDGC, those kind of things. And there people are looking for sure, looking around. It's just a matter of what makes the most sense for them as a player, what they can do for the company.
I try to look at it as a value proposition. What value do you bring? What value do we bring to a player? I don't know. And without getting more into the weeds of it, it's going to be interesting. We're going to see a lot more people probably make some tough decisions, but they're obviously trying to make the decision that's right for them. Okay, so let's jump over to another subject. Let's get into it. Yeah, that's going to be it.
Yeah, that's the one. Didn't take him very long.
No. Bob wants to know.
What's up, Bob?
Why does the PDGA seem to want to suck all the fun out of disc golf? I think that's the platform that Doug probably ran on. Sorry.
All right,
Doug.
guys. How do I suck all the fun out of this?
I mean, he tried to do that while he was here at DD. So no, I'm teasing. Love you, Doug. I love you, Doug. Just kidding.
Oh man, it's this is a tough subject in my opinion because I don't know that I see it as PDGA trying to suck all the fun out of things.
Yeah.
I would love for Bob to send in another question with examples that he's referring to.
Right.
On like what exactly are you talking about? Are you talking about things that you see on the Pro Tour? Because that's not the PDGA.
Right.
Or are you talking about taking away like the magazine or, those kind of things? Or, there's so much red tape that we don't even know about.
Right.
They're spending so much money on things that we don't even know about.
Right.
And I don't agree that the PDGA is sucking the fun out of anything. I believe that they're doing everything in their best interest to grow the sport.
Right.
That I do believe that deep down. And I'm a 30-year PDGA member next year, and yeah, that's crazy to think about. But
man, that makes you
old. And I just believe, look, they're our governing body, whether you like it or not. Doesn't mean you have to join the PDGA or agree with everything the PDGA does to enjoy the sport.
Yeah. And so, like, I poked fun at Doug, and I know Doug's not the only person in the organization, but he is the president, and so
executive director.
Executive director. And the way I joke, I would joke in front of Doug. I mean, we know joke.
Yeah. Or you have to joke in front of him because if you joke to the side of him, he won't see it.
He would even say that, so it's not even being mean. He would even say that. But what I'm getting at is that I think I know Doug well enough to know that every choice he makes, whether it's a tough choice or an easy choice, is only to benefit the growth of disc golf. If anybody loves the sport of disc golf for what it has brought him and what he wants to bring to the sport, it would be Doug. He wants to see the sport grow.
He does. He's
Sometimes he has to
passionate
make
about
the
it.
bad decisions that aren't popular, but he feels is better for the sport. So yeah, and the first thing that popped in my mind when the question comes in as why does a PDGA seem to want to suck all the fun out of it? It reminds me of somebody I knew that we were trying to eat better, right? And when we would talk about certain foods, I would say, well, we can't eat that, but it has sugar in it. And the person would say, I know. They want to take all the fun out of food. And it's like, yes, I get it. The sugar makes the food taste so much better, but
Makes
it's
it
not
so fun.
But it's not good for you.
Yeah.
And so that's what made me think is like, what do you mean? Like there are certain things that you say suck, but it needs to not be there or needs to be in place in order for the greater good of disc golf.
Yeah.
So,
And my other argument would be, hey, if you do feel very strongly and passionate about that, run for a seat on the board,
boom.
or volunteer, or you know what I mean? Instead of like, and I'm not saying you do this, Bob, by any means, because I'm not in the know on who does and says what, but I'm not saying that you do this, but I see a lot of people post online about how terrible they are, but they don't ever have a solution for it.
Right.
It's just, you're terrible at what you do.
Right.
And now I'm going to walk away.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess that would be my only pushback is send us another question, Bob, and let us know specifically what you are referring to, or, give us some ideas, what would you do to change things? I'd love to see that.
Let's see. I do want to jump. There are a couple questions that I thought we can kind of dive into because
right.
I think we have time a little bit. Tim wants to know, how do I become an expert on disc golf? I think he meant in disc golf, but
no, on it.
On it.
Yes.
Literally on disc golf.
On top of it. Well, Tim, it depends, I guess, once again. Are you trying to become an expert player, or are you trying to become an expert on knowing all things disc golf? Discs, the podcasting, the rules, whatever it is. I can only assume you're trying to become an expert as a player, correct? Is that
Right.
kind of...
That's the way I took it.
And the only answer is get your butt off the couch, go outside, and practice. Practice. You got to put hours and hours. It's just like anything. You want to get good at something, you got to put in the hours.
You feel that, Tim? I felt it. I felt
what
that.
you got to do.
Yeah. It's the who is it that there was something I read where they were talking about people like LeBron James and Kobe Bryant and the big
Kobe,
the top people in the sports, where they actually...
You didn't say Jordan. Unbelievable.
I think it's because the guy used the example of Kobe and LeBron, and so anyway, those people...
We all know where he stands.
No, actually, Michael Jordan is the GOAT. We can get into it in the comments if you want. But,
please. Down the GOAT of basketball.
Is Michael Jordan. Michael B. Jordan.
Or is it Larry Legend? Go on.
So these people that are like the top of their game are people that like are, the guy wanted to say almost like not insane, but are like so driven that it affects their family life, it affects their social life, because all they can think about is that. Now, I'm not saying you got to go to that extreme, Tim. What I'm getting at is that some people don't realize that the greats, how much they put into what they want to accomplish. Right. And so, so I guess there's some balance in between the sitting on the couch watching Disc Golf Pro Tour and wishing you're out there, and the guy that gives up everything and just goes all in disc golf. You got to find a healthy balance, but you're going to have to lean into more of the guy that goes all in.
Correct.
And you got to know, we've even talked about it way before on the show, is that there are trade-offs, right? If you want to get good at something, especially disc golf, that means you're not going out with your buddies to party. You're not spending time playing video games. You're out putting hundreds of putts. What is it? Owen Scoggins that says she puts hundreds of times after a round.
After a round, yeah.
So
the regimen I put together for my college kids is minimum 200 putts a day.
Yeah.
No excuses.
Yeah.
We have an indoor facility that you could utilize if you need to. So 200 putts every single day, you will see results.
It has to be so second nature to your brain that being out on the course is just like another day
Mm-hmm.
in your as far as the
It's
technique
work.
and the form.
Here's the thing: it's work. It's not all fun.
No.
It's mostly not fun, actually.
Yeah.
So it is 100% work, and it takes a whole lot of effort.
Oh, this would be a good, interesting one, real quick. You showed us the warrant last episode. This was a few episodes back. He's probably talking about the what was that warrant with the
Mixtape?
mixtape
Mhm.
stamp on it, and I wondered how it compared to the flight of the Patrol. I have it in Loosened Ice, and I love the late turn you can get from it, and the way it feels like my other trilogy mold. So, do you remember the flight of the Patrol?
I do. The Patrol is one of our easy to use, easy to throw, one of those two lines of discs, and I believe that they were all mostly in lighter weights.
Oh, okay.
Is what those were. So the Patrol's going to be kind of like our most understable mid-range, and then up next would be the Warrant, and then the Evidence, and then the Truth, the EMAC Truth, the Verdict, the Justice. That's kind of the line of stability-wise. So the Warrant's going to feel very similar in the hand. It's just going to be a touch more stable flight for you.
And the Patrol is. Oh, I didn't know it was out of production.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Patrol was out of because it was an easy to use line. We didn't sell very many of them because we came out with the Warrant and it became a little bit more popular, and there wasn't much difference between the Warrant, Evidence, and Patrol. So we decided to get. But that doesn't mean you'll never see it again. Just because it's retired doesn't mean you'll never see it again.
Wow. Straight from the production manager himself.
That's right.
All right, let's talk about real quick as we wrap things up the disc golf off season. Now, what I mean by that is the touring season is over. You're going to see a lot more of the top pros go back home, spend some time home. I'm sure they'll play some A tiers, B tiers, to
A ton of those still.
Yeah, to keep things going and obviously to make some money. But for the most part, there's not going to be the same topic every weekend of watching the pros on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. So I asked the question, what are your plans for the disc golf off season? So I know that you don't tour and play and stuff like that, Eric, but what kind of, when it starts getting cold outside and stuff like that, what do you typically do? What do you typically do?
So like now or when I was playing?
Well, let's do when you were playing.
When I was playing, well, so I spent most of my summers in Texas or my winters rather in Texas and warmer areas. But when I was here in Kansas, I would still go out and grind. I would still be out there playing rounds whenever I could. Now, obviously, if you live up in the north, this makes things a little bit more difficult. For me, it was always just about keeping my putt loose and always just throwing some putts every single day, whether it's in the garage, they're 20-footers, 10-footers, 15-footers, whatever it is, as long as I'm getting that motion down. Always, every single day, throwing putts. And even just like when I'm sitting on the couch watching TV, having a disc in my hand. There was always something about that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was just keeping that familiar grip or whatever it was, but that's what I would always do in my off season. I would still play a lot of disc golf. A lot of people, I know, like Nate Doss was always famous for saying, hey, as soon as I was done at USDGC, my discs went in my closet and I was done.
Wow.
Until whenever, so for some people that's how they do it. For me, I always wanted to keep loose. I always loved not that he doesn't love the game, but I always was just so in love and I just couldn't take days off without going and playing. So I was always finding a way to play disc golf.
Nice. There are some we have some comments on the Facebook group. One guy says he goes hunting and ice fishing.
Okay. Fair.
That's nice. Do you do any ice fishing?
No,
you're
not
fishing.
here.
Oh, yeah,
you can't really do it.
That's
I mean, we've tried a couple times when the lakes got frozen, but it's just not.
Do you fish though when it's colder out? Or
yeah. If there's open water, I'll be fishing.
Tim says off season, I run winter leagues.
Cool. Winter Marksman League was another one that we used to do.
Yeah.
We used to stay on top of putting with that.
Not doing it this year, but now I am going to see, I talked to a couple guys here. I want to do like a House of Discs putting league, go live with it. And Blaze and Dragon said they want to do it. And so we're going to come in, we're going to figure out a night to come in here, set up different areas and do some putting. Yeah, different stations, set some putting up. Maybe do more cycling and maybe get into Magic the Gathering.
Oh.
Next is
Dang.
I'm teasing. I remember a few years ago, I was going out for something to just get some drinks, and then Shane said, "Come on over. We're hanging out and doing magic." And I was like, "What?" And I come over.
Abracadabra.
And there was like 8 guys set up with the cards and everything, and I'm like, "What is going on?"
Oh,
So
man.
they were into it. So I know a lot of people off. A lot of people off. A lot of people. That's what you get when you try to talk and read. I know a lot of people like it. Lurt says, "What the?" Yeah, we're gonna skip that one. What the F is an off season? He says.
Oh.
Easy, bro.
I think Bobby was referring to like tournaments are slowing down. Yeah.
Let's see. Adam says he's in the New England Winter Disc Golf Team Championship.
Sick.
Had our first match this past weekend. Great food, great fun, great course, great competition. Can imagine winter being any different. Nice.
Great cold.
Great goal. Great Gatsby. Buying a good practice basket and getting my daughter's C1's putting percentage up.
Nice. Awesome.
What are you telling your students?
So we're kind of fortunate. We have a racquetball court. How many people out there do you think even know what racquetball is?
Not a lot.
You know, because it used to be this big deal. Like
Yeah.
it used to be a lot of fun. But anyway, we have an old racquetball court at Hyper Building here, and they've given it to us, and we've converted it into a little training area. So we've got tech disc set up with a net. We got a couple baskets in there for putting. So it's just a place to kind of either just come and work on your game, stay loose, throw shots, and just hang out and have fun.
Nice.
So that's kind of the mindset for us over this. I mean, it's not really our off season. It's technically our on season, as we just traveled to our first tournament this last week. So
okay.
it's not even our off season. Our season is just now starting.
Wow. That's crazy. Cool. Well, yeah. A lot of people, settling in, getting ready for trying to plan for the next season. Joshua says, start training for next season. Lots of field work and putting practice.
Mm-hmm.
Now's a good time to kind of reflect on how 2025 went, whether you're a casual player or you play all kinds of tournaments. Reflect on what worked well, what didn't work well,
did not work well.
and work on that. Are you the kind of person that works on your weaknesses or works on your strengths?
Probably my strengths,
Yeah.
I would say. Yeah. Who needs weakness?
I know. Well, I heard that a while back where someone said, don't work on your weaknesses, because that was always something you thought, so you're weak in this area, so you work
Yeah.
on it.
So I need to work on this.
And so someone said, no, your weaknesses is your weakness. Make sure your strengths are even stronger.
True. It's a good point.
So I
I never really thought about it like that, I guess, because, I mean, like I said earlier, I never really worked on forehands or anything, and that's
Yeah.
definitely a weak part of my game. I always excelled in turnover shots, so that's kind of what I focused on, and that's what I enjoyed to do.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments below. Do you typically work on your weaknesses or work on your strengths, and why?
Or do you not have either?
Or are you just perfect? Anyway, all right, guys, a real quick recap as we end the show. We have the Drift plastic that comes out this Thursday, October 30th, depending on when you're listening to this, but it will be October 30th. I guess it won't depend. It doesn't
Depends
really...
on what time you're listening. It's still the same day.
That's what I was thinking. It's going to happen no matter when you listen to this. It's out. The Sergeant, the Escape, the Evidence, and the EMAC Judge, and the light. If you're looking for lightweight plastic, these are beautiful. They have perfect flights, great flights. Or if you're looking for something that floats, that way you have a little more confidence when you're throwing over a water hole. Here they are, the Drift discs.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Lucid Moonshine Vandal.
Correct.
And a
Color
cute
Moonshine.
little, well, I guess he's not that cute when he's chewing on a disc.
Well, he's kind of cute still.
Yeah, so he's still kind
It's
of
like
cute.
little
cute.
rocket.
So yeah, Moonshine Vandals coming out. We have the Reaper of Pars Enforcer.
These come out, the Vandals come out on 11/13.
11/13.
So you know.
And then we have the Vandals Reaper of Par.
Nope, it's an Enforcer, not a Vandal. It is an Enforcer. That is two completely different
I'm
discs.
glad I don't do this by myself. 'Cause no one would know what we have coming out.
Correct.
The Enforcer and the Reaper of the Pars
Reaper
and
of
Orbit.
Fuji. Those are
Fuji.
sick.
And then I'll let you talk about this so I don't mess this one
And
up.
then the Lucid X Orbit EMAC Truth, the new retooled versions of them, nice and overstable. These are already available for wholesale. They will be available on November 6th for D2C or direct to consumer at dynamicdiscs.com.
And if you have any extra ginkgo, I could use it.
Oh,
So it'll help
I
me
got you.
get my brain straight.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we'll see you on the next episode.